Alright, I'm trying an experiment here, so we'll see how well this works. This is level 16, which is the first boss level. The first official boss level of this mod. I have nerves of steel in this playthrough, which I think was aided by the fact that I was, turned the audio off and I was listening to some music. That made me feel a little more invincible, I guess. Actually, the game's audio tends to make me feel nervous. Shit, am I clipping? Whatever. I don't know, it makes me feel really, discombobulated, especially the door opening sound effects, which I actually did things with, to add reverb to, in this game, so it makes them sound extra rusty or something. It also makes them cut off kind of awkwardly, but yeah, the door opening sound effect is definitely the most hard to listen to. Oh man, I could have totally got those guards to open that door, that locked door. But yeah, I think that even though I had no sound, it actually, the sound is often, if you know what you're doing, it often just hurts you playing through it. Because I'm much more cautious with the sound off, obviously, because I know I'm trying to compensate for the fact that I can't hear what's going on. I don't know, so this level is kind of a fairly short, pleasant boss level in comparison to what it could be, I suppose. I'm gonna turn this music on. I don't know if that's the best experiment to try. I was listening to music while I was doing this. These rooms are each little compartments, I guess you could say. Very easy, sort of basic room that everybody does in a Wolfenstein mod. Have a big hallway with a bunch of different doors. That's kind of what this game is to a lot of people. And, episode 1 certainly feels like that. But I just randomly sort of textured a bunch of different areas in this. So there's a red brick area and a purple area, and why not? It's like a little exhibition. You're going on a little tour of each of these places. And even that red, I don't know, there was that room in level 15 that had one piece of treasure and it was very well lit and well decorated, but served no other purpose. And looking at that playing through, I sort of sighed and said, oh well. But maybe it was playing I didn't want to go in that room. Maybe it was playing level 17, which I don't know as well, partly because I used to hate it. Used to think it was the worst level ever. Made me appreciate sort of the mysterious qualities of rooms that don't serve a purpose for getting you health or treasure, but are just there, strangely, well decorated and I don't know, there's a mystery to that and the sort of feel there that maybe it doesn't come across because I've seen it before, or but it would come across to someone playing it. It's one of those things that you think about at least a little bit, because it's a little off, and maybe it's a kind of an underrated thing to do, even though sometimes you can analyze a thing like that and it can seem totally unnecessary or ridiculous. But it doesn't have to be. This room is just a big dining hall. There's sort of the the usual confrontation to get this next key where you shoot one guy and a bunch of other guys pour through, but there's a bunch of ammo, like, and health and stuff, so you're pretty well equipped. Plus I give you the chain gun right here. It's kind of, for some reason when I was making this area I thought of it as being difficult, but I realized that level 10 and I think there's another level where a bunch of SS guys pour through. At least a few are much more difficult to deal with than this one. You can just literally do what I did and hold down the chain gun. It's actually the most valid strategy half the time, because if you try to wait for the guys to pour through, they'll just shoot through each other. It's nice to go back and play levels that you used to hate, because I think I'm, you know, when I go back I tend to be more critical of things that I liked and like things that I hate more, which is maybe just my questioning my old instincts. And I think I often didn't understand what made something really good or interesting. Or, you know, I thought I had to do things a certain way, and so if I did them that way, that it was better. So it's cool that my own perceptions of things that I made can totally change. Just like 10 years later. This is the boss area. The boss is Barnacle Wilhelm from Spear of Destiny. He's in a little box here, and he doesn't usually walk out of his box, which makes him maybe a little easier to handle. I don't know, maybe he's actually harder to deal with, because he has a rocket launcher and a chain gun. You could really easily import the sprites from the other games and sounds, and he's the exact same boss basically as the General Fat Face from episode 6 of Wolfenstein, so he pretty much just replaced that sprite. I liked him because, I don't know, it's like an old drunk sailor dude. The Spear of Destiny bosses are way better than the Wolfenstein ones, which is kind of funny. I never really was a fan of Spear of Destiny. There are some cool things in it, but it's more, I guess it's more consistent, and Wolfenstein has a very interesting kind of inconsistency to me. Maybe I'd feel differently if I played like both of those games now. I'd have a completely different perception, because I didn't have the same associations with Spear of Destiny, but I don't think the levels had as much personality to them. And it didn't have those, you know, just baffling, incomplete, ridiculous things going on that the original Wolfenstein did. I think it's easy to sort of train yourself, and maybe this was the case, like, train yourself to say, well, I didn't know what I was doing at all, so, like, I need to design these in a way that, like, is more consistent, and, you know, believe that that's necessarily better when it often really isn't. And that's a thing that, you know, I have a feeling like if I had finished another mod after this, I'd probably like this one better, despite all the problems with it, because it has all the sort of scars of, you know, doing something and not knowing what you're doing. And I think that's like a road to maturity too, as a creative person, realizing that you shouldn't like ignore those kind of maybe naive or strange instincts, at least ones that you can't necessarily justify in easy terms, like, for example, putting these dudes in a secret right by where the boss was. which seems a very unfair thing. Plus the secret gives you a lot less health and ammo than the, previous areas you've been to. So it's weird. Like, what purpose does it serve? I don't know. It's extremely well decorated too. More so than this exit area. But yeah, who knows? It adds a kind of a interesting color to the whole thing, and I couldn't explain it, nor do I think I'd want to. That's somebody else's job. Okay, stay tuned for level 17.